Hey friends, welcome back. Maybe I don't sound as happy and enthusiastic as I usually sound in at least the openings of my videos. But I'm pretty angry and I want to use today's video to explain what's been going on behind the scenes and what's been going on inside my head because a lot of things have happened and a lot of it involves AI somehow. And I'm really tired of it. Heads up, this might be the first video in my entire collection where I'm going to use some swear words, maybe, who knows, I'm gonna try not to. But yeah, welcome back to another Butcher Shop. Yeah, so like I said, I'm pretty angry. And I have not scripted this video, by the way. This is just me talking into the microphone while playing out, some progress video. You know what, let's start there, because you can probably tell, if you've been around the channel for a bit longer, that this video starts at a completely different part of the progress. I usually record what I think is the most interesting part of the process, which is the coloring and the rendering of my work. I've been doing that for a long time, but suddenly, apparently, it is necessary for me to show people the sketching process as well. And I personally don't think it's that interesting. It's just scribbles, it's outlines. The sketches are not even pretty, they're just the rough positions for me for the color work. That's all it is, so why would people want to see that? Okay. Context first. See, this is what I mean with none of this is scripted, this is just me talking into the microphone. Context, important. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a pretty big convention. It is supposed to be like the cherry on top of the year. This is like the last con of the year. And everybody is supposed to go home happy. And I think a lot of people did go home very happily, except for me, because I have never ever in my life, during a single con, had so many people walk up to me just declaring my work to be AI generated. There's always a few people who ask me about it. Hey, it kind of looks AI generated. Is this real? Like, is it yours? Do you make this yourself? Or, come up with any form of conversation that you can think of, and I'm more than happy to have this conversation. If somebody asks me about my work, please do. I'm happy to talk about my work. But during this con, there were at least 10 to 15 people who would just feel so damn entitled to come in, stand in front of my work, and just call out, "Oh, this is AI, it's generated, it's so ugly." And if this happens once, I can deal with it. If it happens twice, I am starting to get a little bit cranky. If this happens 10 to 15 times by people who are not even half my age, look, I've been making art for over 20 years now. How is it possible that some kid that's not even 15 is so entitled that it feels like you can just call something and then think you can walk away with it? Like, what is going on inside your head that you feel like you can insult me and my work just like that, while I'm actually dealing with customers? Don't buy that. It's AI generated. Oh, you're buying AI generated. Please, people, I've been making art since AI was it wasn't even an idea. It wasn't there. It did not exist. I've been drawing animal portraits since you were even, since way before you were even born. How dare you come in not knowing me, not knowing my work, not knowing my process. You don't know fuck all about me. And you come in to tell me what my work is? Please. I am so tired of this bullshit. And I get it. I understand. I perfectly understand how our enjoyment of art has been influenced lately. You know, and I do it myself. Every picture I see, the first thing I ask myself is this real? But the difference is, do you want to talk about it, or do you just want to bitch about it? Do you just want to make a fool out of yourself, really? Do you just want to stand there and cry out something that is not even true? You don't have the faintest clue of what is happening here. And you just want to shout that? You just want to give someone a bad reputation for absolutely fucking nothing? Because apparently that's the generation that's like how kids are growing up. You know, just scream and shout. And the louder you shout, the more people will probably hear you. And you know what? Deep inside, this hurts on so many levels, because why am I getting so riled up about these bunch of tweens, you know, that have not a single clue about how art works, or I don't even know what's going on behind the scenes there. Like, I don't know these people. I cannot judge them, but I do judge them for their behavior. Because what is wrong with you? Why can you not just have a normal conversation? Why do you have to shout everything? Why do you have to make other people, like, why do you need to be right? Why do you feel, maybe that's it. Why do these people feel like they need to be right about what they say? Like, if they are fully convinced something is AI, they want everyone to hear it. And they have not even informed themselves. And so, yeah, I mean, apparently it is very easy to go absolutely crazy over a bunch of teenagers. But at the same time, when I got home from the con, I cried. I will not lie to you about that, because it hurts. It really hurts. Like, I spent years and years, you know, trying to perfect this, and somebody just walks in and says it's fake. Yeah, so I changed the format of this video for that, basically. I yield. I show you everything now. I didn't have any secrets to begin with, but now I will show you fucking everything. So please don't complain if this video is boring or if you don't like the first half. This is just me showing you all my freaking secrets. Speaking of which, another thing I wanted to jump on was people asking me how it is even possible that I use these 100,000 different shades of the same color, you know, and then to blend things. So I wanted to show you what exactly I do before anyone else cries AI again. Yeah, so basically you can pick any two colors, and then the trick really lies in the brush. The brush is very pressure sensitive. So if I use one color on top of the other and I give it a really light brush, I get a sort of in-between color. And if you do that a couple of times, you get closer and closer to the second color. So if you look at the color bar on the top right of the screen, you see that I'm selecting a lot of very similar colors, but each of them are just a little bit different from the previous one. That's what you're seeing in my videos. You're watching me select all these in-between colors to create the sort of natural flow in between them. So there's that. Now, I am fully aware that in some of my previous videos, I kind of promised that, complaining videos or angry videos are not they're not what I want to be here for. That's not what I want to present on my channel, but sometimes I do feel that it is necessary to at least talk about these sort of feelings. It's heartbreaking, and this is happening to me, but I can imagine that this is also happening to a lot more people, because we cannot look at art in a normal, in a normal way anymore. Looking at art the way we did 5 or 10 years ago, it doesn't exist anymore. We live in doubt. All we do is doubt what we see. And in some way, some twisted way, I can sort of admire that, because it also means that we are becoming more critical as the human species. We are considering what we're being fed, and I cannot blame people for doing that. I guess what I'm blaming people for is the way they communicate about it. I've said it before in one of my earlier videos. Rather than just crying wolf, why don't you walk up to the artist and ask them about the process of their work? Ask them about their brushes, ask them about their coloring techniques. Like, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but most artists are more than happy to talk to you about their process. They really are. They do not find it an insult if you want to know how they work. They don't consider you a threat if you ask them about their quote-unquote secrets. Art is not something that should be gatekept. Is that a word? We should not be gatekeeping art, and I don't think any artist will. We tend to overshare. I love talking about my work. I really do. I have a very great passion for what I do and for what I have been doing for over 2 decades now. And I don't want to have my heart broken, my soul ripped out on every con because someone felt the need to convince other people that what I make is fake. I won't stand for it. I find it annoying, I find it insulting, and I find it very unsociable at the very least. Please practice your communication skills. Please be informed before you declare something. Maybe we should start there. But if you're new to the channel, this might actually be a very, very good moment to hit that like and subscribe button. I know this is almost cynical. But if you enjoy art, my channel, I promise you, is real. What I create is real. So if you want to support real art, have at it, please. I mean, you can, it's free. What you're looking at, by the way, is one of 22 cats that I am about to illustrate. I have been commissioned for a brand new card game that is, I think it is supposed to launch on Kickstarter in the second half of 2026. So I have about 6 months to illustrate 22 cats. And I'm having a lot of fun, but I think by the end, I will never ever draw a single cat again. As far as I understand the card game so far, we're looking at a combination of, Gwent meets Exploding Kittens, I guess. And it's going to feature a lot of different cats in different contexts. So this is the Wizard. It's the first one in the series. and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a very, very big project. In 2025, I worked on another card game, Imminent Peril. That was also a lot of fun. I think the game itself got delayed. I'm not that up to date anymore. But it featured, I think it was even more than 20 cards. It was the whole project, like the box art, the whole image of the company behind it. It was a pretty big project. But the art style was completely different. It was all based on silhouettes, on stamps, and grayscales. And for this card game, by a completely different studio, by the way, was actually pretty cool, because I'm not saying I got a carte blanche to do whatever the hell I want to do, but basically I got a carte blanche to do whatever I want to do. There is a list of cats that I have to draw, and the contexts of each cat are given to me. But it's actually pretty damn cool to have someone walk up to you and say, "Hey, look, I really love your style. I love the way you work. I love how you make all these whimsical fantasy, but also kind of funny creatures. So do what you do best. Here's a list of things that I want from you. Would you want to do this work?" And so, of course, I was more than happy to accept. So it's a very cool, unexpected side quest. Or actually, this is turning out to be a main quest for 26, I think. Because 6 months, that's a crazy amount of work. But I am honored. I am very honored to, be called for this job. And I will be sharing most of my work along the way. Thank God there are no NDAs for any of the work that I'm making. I can share it on all my socials. So if you want to keep up to date on this game called Cataclysm, again, this is another good reason to maybe subscribe to the channel. Or you can find me on any form of social media, except for TikTok, because I hate TikTok. I'm sorry. I just don't have the time for that. Anyway, follow me anywhere if you want to see more cats appear on your timeline. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a lot of work. And you know what? In the whole context of this rant earlier in this video, I am happy that, among the complaints and among the whining people and the accusations, I'm very happy that there are still more people out there who find themselves really enjoying my work. And I guess that's my reality check for today, and maybe even for next week or next month, next year. Whenever I feel bad, maybe I should just look back at this video and accept that my feelings have been seriously hurt, but also accept that, regardless of that, there are still many of you people out there who really appreciate my work, and that's fantastic. That it makes up for a lot. Yeah, good reality check. Note to self: watch this video when you feel terrible. I doubt a lot of people, a lot of these naysayers understand what it does to people, if they make an accusation that is completely ungrounded. I know a lot of artists, including myself, struggle with imposter syndrome, and with the current social media pressure, to show everything, to put everything out on the machine, and to show people every single step of your way. I know that there is a lot of people who are getting more and more anxious about this. What are you trying to prove? Who are you trying to convince that the work is real? Because the more often you do this and the more pressure is applied to that, I feel like more and more you're trying to prove yourself a point rather than anyone else. You want to prove to yourself that what the naysayers are saying is not true. And the worst part is that these people don't even give a damn. You're working your ass off for something who could not care any less. I bet you these people who called my work bullshit, the moment they left the booth, they forgot about me. They forgot about my work. They didn't sleep any less over, what happened there at the moment. But here I am 2-3 weeks later, and it's still keeping me up at night, and I know that says something about me as well. Like, I should consider some therapy. But I wished people would understand the consequences of their actions, their inability to decently communicate with people. Well, I've made my point, I guess. Thank God for people who can still enjoy my work and any other work that is real, So yeah, I should consider myself lucky to be in a position where I get these sort of commissions. This is like the second year in a row where a company comes to me, asking for a fully designed card game. And in the meantime, I also have authors coming up to me to ask for book covers. I've got authors asking for, little designs, little illustrations to put in their book interior. My book, or the audiobook, just got nominated for an Indie Ink Award. Like, there are so many wonderful things happening, yet somehow it is the brown noise. I'm just going to call it brown noise because it's shit. But there are so many... It's so weird. So many good things happen, and yet what we take home is the nonsense. Perhaps, I don't know if there's any psychologists around you, explain to me how this works. It's really annoying. I wish it wasn't the case. I wished I could just take home all the compliments, and be happy. I wish I could. But somehow I am still, I guess, convincing myself, or convincing all you guys now, to convince everyone who's watching that what I do matters, or that what I do is real. It's not generated. Stop it, But yeah. So again, I promise that, I won't make a lot of these complaining videos. But every now and then, when stuff like this happens, I will talk about it. If anything, to try and educate people, or to try and help people find a way to communicate about this, because that's what this, I think, is really all about. If you have your doubts, perfectly fine. Just consider how you talk about it. Consider what you ask me. And the funny thing is, I also had people who then said, I wonder if it's AI, but I feel super uncomfortable asking an artist straight up, is this AI? And I told these people, if that makes you uncomfortable, you can also instead just ask about the process. And they're like, the way their eyes lit up at that moment was amazing. It's like we help each other. There's a kind of magic in there. And I guess I should just hold on to that magic rather than the bullshit. But yeah, I think this is the last video before the end of the year. So before you guys go, I really, really want to thank you for being part of this adventure with me. For all the highs and all the lows, thank you for sticking around. And I wish you very happy holidays. Enjoy Christmas if you're celebrating. Enjoy the new year. Be careful with fireworks if you live in a country where you're still allowed to light up some fireworks. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for hearing me out on this one. And I'll see you in the next video, guys.